What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. We are back with a This Week in Destiny, showing everything that you can expect from the week ahead. So if you want to find out more about the return of Trials and Grandmaster Nightfalls, as well as the finale and conclusion of the Wayfinder's Voyage quest, and more importantly what Tess has available for Bright Dust this week, then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 70% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Another week and another This Week in Destiny, and this week sees the conclusion of the Wayfinder's Voyage quest. We pick this up on step 46 and see it all the way through to its conclusion on step 53. Now upon concluding this quest, we'll have all the pieces to perform the exorcism on Salvatori to rid her of her worm. But before we can do this, we need to wait for a cosmic alignment. Now we're not sure how long this will take or when this will be, but a new mission called Exorcism will become available later in the season. Now Moav does go on to tell us that the ley lines are degrading and they're being polluted by Taken Corruption and Hive spellcraft. This causes them to mirror aspects of the material world. Now primal cosmic forces govern the ley lines and the conditions must be perfect to open the pathway for the next rescue mission. Now this rescue mission is to bring back Osiris, and alongside that rid Salvatori of her worm. This all forms part of the exorcism quest later in the season. So whilst we've seen the conclusion of the Wayfinder's Voyage quest, we haven't seen the conclusion of the story in Season of the Lost. So be sure to stay stuck to the channel and I'll keep you up to date. Now alongside the Wayfinder's Voyage quest, we also return to the Forest of Echoes over in the Shattered Realm. This will allow us to collect the final data caches to complete all the data caches for all the Shattered Realms. Now we made a video right here on the channel for all the mysteries and ascendant anchors for the Forest of Echoes, so if you're still collecting those to finish some of your triumphs for this season, then be sure to check that video out and I'll leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now moving on from the story beats, we also see the return of Grandmaster Nightfalls in Season of the Lost. Once again, there are 6 brand new Grandmasters we need to contend with, these being the Hallowed Lair, the Lake of Shadows, Exodus Crash, the Corrupted, the Devil's Lair, and the Proving Grounds. Now some of these form some of the most difficult Grandmasters we've ever faced, with the Hallowed Lair being entirely new for Season 15. So if you're chasing down end game upgrade materials, exotic weapons and armor, or even those sweet adept weapons, make sure to jump into the Grandmaster Nightfalls this week. You'll need to be 1345 in order to enter. So if you're finding yourself a few power levels short, be sure to get those pinnacle challenges done to help increase your power levels before entering Grandmasters this season. Now Bungie did talk previously about the Grandmaster catch-up node and that it will become available as soon as Grandmasters launch this season. Now the idea behind the catch-up node is that all the Grandmaster Nightfalls will be available if the fireteam leader has not completed the gilding of the triumphs for the Conqueror Seal in that particular season. So in other words, you can play through each of the featured strikes for the season to instantly gild your title. And once you've gilded your title, that catch-up node will no longer be available. Now this particular catch-up node won't be available upon the launch of Grandmasters this week, but will be coming as part of an update in December later this season. So if you were hoping to gild your Conqueror title instantly upon this week's weekly reset, sadly that won't be the case. Now moving on from Grandmaster Nightfalls, we'll also see the return of Trials of Osiris this weekend. This will return to standard elimination with the flawless pool starting on Sunday at 10 AM Pacific time. Now this version of Trials is essentially exactly the same as week 2 of the return of Trials of Osiris in Season 15, and Bungie are currently looking to make some matchmaking changes from mid-October onwards, which will prevent the need for a flawless pool. But as soon as we have some more information, we'll be sure to let you know right here on the channel. Now moving on to the reset activities and challenges, we have a brand new raid challenge for week 7, and this is the Only Oracle for You challenge found at the Oracle encounter inside the Vault of Glass. Now to complete the challenge, you can't destroy the same Oracle more than once, so you'll need to place and rotate your entire fire team throughout the encounter to ensure you're destroying a unique Oracle through each phase. And by completing this challenge, you'll get a second chest and also your hands on a time loss weapon. Now this week's time loss weapon is the Praediff's Revenge. Now as with all time loss weapons, these come with 2 perks in the 3rd and 4th column, essentially guaranteeing a god roll each and every time. So if you still haven't got the god roll on the Praediff's Revenge, be sure to jump into the Oracle encounter upon this week's weekly reset. And if it's high stat armor that you're chasing, then the stat focus for this week is strength. So if you're looking for the right stat distributions on your armor for your hunter or titan, be sure to jump into the Vault of Glass this week to seek out that high strength armor. Now moving on to the Crucible rotator for this week will be Mayhem. one of the easiest and funnest modes inside the Crucible. So if you're looking for some easy Valor ranks to get your hands on the Ascendancy Rocket Launcher or the Ornament, which you both need for seasonal challenges this season, be sure to jump into Mayhem to get those easy ranks done. Now moving on to the Nightfall and the first Grandmaster Nightfall of Season 15, we have the Hallowed Lair. Now to enter the Grandmaster, you will need to be 1345 in power, and this is including your seasonal artifact. So as we said earlier in the video, if you're still lacking in a few power levels, make sure to get the rest of your pinnacles done before jumping into Grandmasters this week. Now Master and Grandmaster Nightfalls are great sources for endgame upgrade materials and also adept weaponry. Now the adept weapons for week 7 of season 15 is the Azume sniper rifle and also the Plug 1 fusion rifle. Now these are both extremely popular weapons and will be well worth the effort when jumping into Grandmasters this week. Now moving over to Europa, the Eclipse Zone for this week can be found over in the Asterian Abyss. So once again, if you're still chasing the augments way back from Beyond Light, be sure to head over there to find your target. Now the Empire Hunt this week will be the Warrior. These are fantastic sources for pinnacle loot, so be sure to get those fire teams together to get those done, especially if you're chasing down those additional power levels before jumping into Grandmasters this week. And alongside that, we also have a brand new Exo challenge. This is Simulation Agility, one of the easiest in the rotation, and as long as you fully upgraded your sabotage quests over at Variks over on Europa 2, this will also be a great source of pinnacle loot. So make sure to get both of these done if you're still chasing down those additional power levels. Now this brings us nicely onto the new seasonal challenges for week 7 of season 15, and once again we have 7 new seasonal challenges we need to complete. Now the first one is called Wayfinder's Voyage 7, so we need to use the Wayfinder's Compass to complete Wayfinder's Voyage 7. We also need to defeat Taken and Scorn with shotguns anywhere in the system. This is alongside Umbral Maven, so you need to focus tier 3 Umbral engrams at the Prismatic Recaster over in the Helm. Next up we have Freeze Burner, so you need to defeat combatants with stasis abilities, solar abilities or shattered damage. Combatants defeated with solar or stasis melee attacks will award bonus progress. Now all 3 of those challenges will also grant Wayfinder's Compass calibration level, so if you're still upgrading your Wayfinder's Compass, be sure to get those done, get some quick and easy upgrades. So next we have Efficient Ley Liner, and you need to complete the alignment activity in under 10 minutes. Next we have Cadre of Contenders, so you need to complete Crucible matches in the Glory playlist and earn bonus progress for wins. This is alongside Bring a Fusion Sword, so you need to defeat targets with Fusion Rifle and Swords in Gambit, and defeating Guardians grants additional progress. And the final challenge for this week is Conquest of the Mighty, and you need to complete a Nightfall on the Grandmaster difficulty. Now this brings us on to the most important part of the week, and that's what Tess has available for Bright Dust in week 7 of season 15. And the first item on offer in the main featured section is the Cat Ear Dance. This is a legendary emote that was introduced this season. Now this was available for silver back in week 3, but if you didn't want to spend real money on it, you can pick it up for Bright Dust this week, and it will set you back 700 Bright Dust. Next we have the Wandering Wings, a new exotic ship once again introduced this season. Now this was available for silver back in week 2, but you can pick it up for Bright Dust, and this will set you back 2000 Bright Dust instead. Next we have Signal Processed. Now this is a transmat effect way back from Season of the Forges, so if you missed out on this and are collecting these, this will set you back 450 Bright Dust. Next we have Bruised Blush. Now this is a legendary shader that was introduced in Season of the Undying. Now if you missed out on this back then, unlike the quilted effect that you can get on the Hunter's Cloak, then you can pick this up for 300 Bright Dust. Now in the main featured Bright Dust store, we have the Protecting Teammates emote. This is an exotic emote that was introduced back in one of the Dawning events. Now if you missed out on that, this will set you back 3,250 Bright Dust. Alongside this we have the Dreamer's Shell, a new exotic ghost shell introduced this season. Now this was available in week 3 for silver as well, but once again if you don't want to spend real world money on it, you can pick it up for Bright Dust, and this will set you back 2,850. Alongside this we have the Pragmatic Powerhouse, a massive exotic sparrow introduced this season. Now this was available in week 5 for silver, and you can pick it up for Bright Dust this week, and it will set you back 2,500. Now next up we have the legendary armor ornaments. These are the universal armor ornaments for all classes, and this week will be the chest piece. So if you're looking for the Namine chest piece for all your guardians, you can pick it up this week, and it will set you back 1,200 Bright Dust a piece. Next up we have the Be Sneaky Rare emote. This was introduced back in Season of the Undying, and if you missed out on this and want to add it to your emote wheel, this will set you back 400 Bright Dust. And the next item on offer is the Reef in Ruins. This is the exotic weapon ornament for the Telesto. So if you're collecting the ornaments for the weapon that breaks the game each and every season, you can pick this up this week for 1,250 Bright Dust. Now the final item on offer is the Penguin Projection. Now this forms part of the Season of the Lost Projection set. So if you didn't want to buy the entire set and were looking just for this one specifically, this will set you back 1500 Bright Dust. So there we have it guys, another This Week in Destiny and everything that you need to know for the week ahead. Now if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.